Well, here we are yet again with the Porsche, and we're trying to make some changes to the exhaust because I'm just not satisfied with how it sounds still. So if you've seen the previous two videos, you know that we've done a couple changes to this thing already. First of all, I got rid of the Cat and replaced it with an actual Jones. What was advertised as a Resonator was actually more like a glasspack. And then after that, we did some motorcycle mufflers, and that was a fun test and stuff like that, just for grins. But after that, we went ahead and replaced those bike mufflers with this Flowmaster unit right here. And I thought that was going to be a good combination, but it's just not there. So where I think I went wrong was actually the so-called Resonator that was sold by Jones. With some stuff I had looked up, I got it wrong as far as what I ordered. So I think it really is just a glass pack, and it's not meant to like kind of dull the noise or anything like that. So anything above 4,000 RPM in this thing just sounds a little annoying to me. Really tinny, and it doesn't have a good tone to it. Although below 4,000, it's kind of interesting. So we're gonna fix this, and I have a feeling this is gonna be the right ticket. So we got an actual Vibrant brand ultra quiet resonator. So there's a million videos out there on these things. And from the looks of it, this is promising. This should decrease the noise and give it a little bit more of a refined tone. So I'm gonna get started by getting under the car, removing the middle section of the exhaust, and then we'll work on fitting this thing. I'm just gonna MIG weld it. We're not gonna do anything fancy here. I just want this car to sound good so I can go rip it. Okay, here we have the size difference. So the Resonator itself, 13.75 inches in total length. I want to say that might have been like 15 or something like that. I don't know. So this Resonator is 2¼ inch on the ID on both ends. And the Porsche exhaust is like 2 1/8. So I'm hoping I can figure out a way of either like cutting the weld back off here or just cutting this off completely, and then, you know, I've got extra pipe over there. Getting that on there. Another challenge we're going to face is the height. So obviously being an oval, it's preferred to lay, you know, oval like that, not vertical, but the heat shield under the car makes it very difficult to do that. So I don't know, we might have to actually remove the heat shield, which would suck, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and just start cutting this though. Okay, got everything cut up. So I'd already made this adapter for the previous setup because that was like a 2 1/4 inlet. So this naturally fits over it very well. Now because we're losing length, I of course have the tailpipe extender. So this end fits in there nicely. And then this end will be a nice slip fit over the top of the original outlet there. So we'll slide this end on first, get that welded up, get it under the car once this is installed, and then we'll have our length determined. So for now, the next step is to hang this back under the car, which sucks, and figure out where we can put this, if we can clock it this way or that way or however it's gonna look. Okay. try to get a general idea of how this thing's gonna fit here. You know, it is just wide enough, like the heat shield is just wide enough. It's where this can lay in the oval position. It's going to be close. But I might be able to tweak this thing a little bit and get it like, give me a little extra room. Overall, that's not bad. It just has to sit about right there. I would of course like to retain the heat shield because what it does on this specific car, I mean like any car, is it prevents heat from going up into the cabin. So normally the catalytic converter would lay right here, and obviously those things generate a lot of heat. So having this heat shield there, along with a foam insulation above the shifter or below the shifter, allows prevents heat from radiating up into the cabin quite as much. So if I can keep it, I'd like to. Okay, I have the original pipe there, pressed into this pipe, using the handy press over there. So that ain't coming loose, but we're gonna weld it anyway. So, and then we will stick this under the car and determine the actual length that it needs to be. So we'll probably end up having to cut it about right there. It's all gooey from the table. Okay, the resonator is on. We have the length determined for that pipe there. So I just need to weld that joint. And then back here, if I can get this on camera without the camera rotating. So what we're looking for is the right clocking of this pipe relative to that joint. So downstream, the exhaust, yeah, I know that's kind of vertical, but the exhaust needs to rotate to support the muffler a little bit more. So the bolt holes right here are a little bit offset. And that way, whenever I'm welding, whenever it's welded solid and I go to bolt it up, it's going to naturally force this to clock that way. And it'll hold everything in place. So now, just going to mark that joint, pull this all back off, and we'll get it final welded. Not bad. Here we go. This thing is ready to be installed, and I am ready to finally enjoy this exhaust note. I am pretty damn excited right now. Okay, one thing I did do here, we're pretty much done, is I had to add a self-tapper to the heat shield to keep it far enough away. Everywhere else is fine, but that section there I could not tweak it enough to keep it away, so I'm sorry. I've disgraced my family for 7 generations, but we had to self-tapper the car. Well, what do you say we see how this thing sounds? So far, I like that. Well, hopefully it sounds better out on the road, because I don't like that ring. I don't like that noise. So we'll go for a drive. Okay, so far it is an improvement. I haven't got it over 4,000 RPM yet, but it's promising. So let's go for a drive. Well, even though we've made an improvement with the Resonator, I'm still battling that 4,000 plus RPM noise that's just basically really annoying to me. And I think the problem is the chamber design of the muffler. So what we're going to do next is probably eliminate it and go with a MagnaFlow packed straight through design. So that will be an eventual upcoming video, but I think we might have a video in between there. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.